All right, guys, we are moving right along. We are on to part 5, moving on to the NFC, and we are going to start out west because that's where I want to start. So get over it. Sportsbooks have the projected winner being the 49ers. Big surprise. We do also have the Rams projected to come out of the West and make the playoffs. Cardinals finishing 3rd, and then Seahawks last with 7.5 win total. So that is the projection for this division. We will get rid of the NFC, and we will start off with the 49ers. 49ers, projected winners. They lost a lot of people, spent a lot of money this offseason to keep some of their big-time talent. Brock Purdy got a huge contract. George Kittle got a big, fat contract. Fred Warner got a big, fat contract. I think Ayuk got a contract as well. Somebody else got a contract too. Like, they spent a lot of money. They spent a lot of money. Lots and lots and lots of money this offseason. And now I hear Juwan Jennings wants like $20 million a year. Like, bro, they ain't got it. Like, get the fuck over yourself. But offense should be good. Defense should be pretty decent. I like the pickups they got to address their holes. And then, I mean, you've got Nick Bosa and Mikael Williams opposite him now as a rookie. So I'm pretty happy with that. Don't forget Bryce Huff. Gross Matos is there. No, they've got a pretty decent front 7 attack. And then their back line, it took a hit. I'm not going to lie. Losing Hufanga was not great, but they played a lot without him. I think it was Pinnock was the one that was playing for him last year, and he did well enough that they let him go. So we'll see how well they're able to play. They did get Robert Saleh back, so that should help them out quite a bit. All right, let's look at their schedule for the year. Don't forget, when we are completely done, I am writing down everything. When we are all done, I will do a recap video. We'll go over just how far off I was from keeping it even. Like, I do know my numbers for the AFC, but you will not find that out until we are all done. That will not happen until the recap, but I am aware. I want you to be aware of that. I did my numbers. I know exactly where I'm at right now. So, here we go. Week 1 for San Francisco at Seattle. Win 1-0. At New Orleans, win 2-0. At home against Arizona, win 3-0. At home against Jacksonville, win 4-0. They travel to the Rams for a Thursday night game. I'll say that'll be their first loss of the season, 4-1. Then they go to Tampa Bay, 4-2 at home against Atlanta, 5-2 at Houston, 5-3 at the Giants, 6-3 at home against the Rams, 7-3 at Arizona. Yeah, there's no reason that would be a letdown game. Win 8-3 at home for Carolina. Win 9-3. I will say they lose to the Browns week 13 to fall to 9-4 ahead of their bye week, because I think they're looking ahead for their bye week. I think at that point they'll be looking ahead to the bye week. They'll just be so happy to be like doing so well. Maybe they'll be happy to have avoided injuries, and they'll just won't play well against Cleveland. And Cleveland will just come out and knock them in the teeth. It always happens. There's always a couple of those games every year. That's going to be one of mine right there. You just don't expect them to get to lose to a team, but they do. I think that's going to be one of them this year. At Cleveland on November 30th, right before their bye week. And they will head through their bye week at 9-4. And then come out of their bye week for week 15 against Tennessee at home. That's another win, 10-4. At Indiana, 11-4. At home for Chicago. Sunday Night Football, they'll probably win that. 11, 12-4. And then at home for Seattle, they'll probably not need that. Probably rest their players and coast into the playoffs at 12-4. 12-5. 12-5 for the 49ers. That'll be a nice season, and that will most assuredly get them the division. Alrighty, moving right along. Let's open up the Cardinals. Take a look at the Cardinals. Cardinals. Here we go, Cardinals. Depth chart. Let's see. I do like Trey Benson. Trey McBride, Elijah Higgins, Mike Wilson, Zay Jones, Marvin Harrison. I don't know if it really happened, but supposedly Marvin Harrison bulked the hell up. As long as that doesn't affect his agility at all, that should make him even better. But Kyler's gonna have to throw him the fucking ball. So if Kyler doesn't want to look his way, it's not gonna fucking matter. That's where I'm at with that. Their offensive line is, man, it's not bad per se, but it's not good. Every offensive line in the league is not great, all right? There's only a couple of good offensive lines, all right? There's only a couple. And the Cardinals are not them. On to the defense. They did spend some decent money on defense. They got Josh Sweat. I know they spent some other money. I also don't remember where it all went. But they did spend some money this offseason. I know they spent a lot of it on Josh Sweat. They did some other small moves. They should be a bit better on defense, having Josh Sweat there on the edge with Calais Campbell, Dalvin Tomlinson. I expect some decent things. Got Buda Baker on the back end. I'm not expecting them to light the world on fire this year, but we'll see how consistent Kyler can be. And then, Gannon's defensive head coach, so defenses usually tend to play well for defensive head coaches. It's just the way that shit goes. All right, let's take a look here. They open up at New Orleans at noon. Say they lose. 0-1 at home for Carolina. 1-1 at San Francisco. 1-2 at home for Seattle. 2-2 at home for Tennessee. 3-2 at Indianapolis. 4-2 at home for Green Bay. 4-3 at Dallas. 4-4 at Seattle. 4-5 at home for San Francisco. 4-6 at home for Jacksonville. 4-7 at Tampa Bay. No, 5-6 for Jacksonville. Yeah, 5-6 because their bye week was week 8. And then Tampa Bay, that's a loss. That'll be 5-7. At home for the Rams, we'll say they steal one. 6-8. 6-9 after they lose to Houston. 7-9. 8-9. 8-9? 7-10? We'll go 7-10. 7-10 for the Cardinals. Disappointing season. Sorry, guys. On to the Rams. Let's take a look at the Rams. They added Devontae Adams to their offense. That's going to make shit a lot easier for Matthew Stafford. They also are planning on using Blake Corum more out of the backfield, which is going to be nice for Kyron Williams. Give him a little bit of a breather, which should keep him healthier come the postseason. Looks like Puka got moved up to the number 1 wide receiver spot. Devontae Adams is the number 2. Tutu Atwell is in the slot. Tyler Higbee and Terrence Ferguson at tight end. Colby Parkinson is the number 3. I really like their tight end room. It's a very solid tight end room. They're going to be very, very helpful for Stafford in the check down game, especially Higbee. Terrence Ferguson's pretty good at it too. He's also a really good blocker. They'll help spring Kyron Williams a lot. And then, I mean, there's not any big names on the Rams defense. I mean, they got Fisk and Kobe Turner, Byron Young. They're all young, but they're decent. Cam Curl, another good young one. Jared Verse is probably the big name on their defense, I would say. Maybe Cam Kitchens. But, I mean, that would be their big names. And then everybody else is just kind of guys, but they play well. I mean, they play well together. That's the big thing. They play well together. Kuna Ford's in the middle now. That's going to be a lot of help. I expect them to do pretty good this year. As long as Stafford's back isn't as much of a problem as all the talking heads keep saying it is, we'll find out. But I don't expect it to be that much of a problem, and we will see. So they open up week 1 at home against Houston, and I think they win that. No. I have Houston winning that one. So they open up 0-1 at Tennessee, 1-1 at Philadelphia, 1-2 at home for Indy, 2-2 at home for San Francisco. They split 3-2 at Baltimore. Let's say they lose that one. 3-3 at home for Jacksonville, 4-3 at home for New Orleans, 5-3 at San Francisco, 5-4 at home for Seattle, 6-4 at home for Tampa Bay, 7-4 at Carolina, 8-4 at Arizona, 8-5 versus Detroit, 8-6 at Seattle, 9-6 at Atlanta, 10-6, and then I'm not sure if they're going to need it right now, but we're going to say they do, and they push to 11-6. 11 wins for the Rams. All right, on to the Seahawks. All right, so yeah, they got Sam Darnold. Whoop-de-doo. I've been hearing they're trying to trade Kenneth Walker. I don't like that idea. But that's what I'm hearing. Got Jackson Smith and Jigba, Cooper Kupp, Trey Horton, who I think is a rookie. Jake Bobo, who got smacked in that last preseason game. He's still fighting his way back onto the field after that one. Elijah Arroyo and AJ Barner at tight end. An okay line. Charles Cross he's a bust at this point. You drafted him number 6 overall to be a tackle, and he's playing guard. No, I guess he is still playing left tackle, but man. Abraham Lucas is a lot better than Charles Cross. And he was a 3rd rounder in the same draft. On to the defense. Not a lot of big names. I mean, Rick Woolen, Kobe, Devin. I mean, they got some good defenders on the back end. I'm not real big on their front guys. I mean, Leonard Williams good. Byron Murphy II's all right. I'm not scared of DeMarcus Lawrence or Jaron Reed. Like, they don't scare me. Boye Mafe's okay. It's not bad. Jason Meyer's pretty good. Michael Dixon. They got pretty decent special teams. Just, I don't know. I'm not sold on their coach. That's part of it. Like I'm not big on McDonald, whatever. I don't care. Man. All right. And looking at their schedule here, we got week 1 hosting San Francisco, plus 0-1. At Pittsburgh, 0-2. At home for New Orleans, 1-2. At Arizona, 1-3. At home for Tampa Bay, 1-4. At Jacksonville, 2-4. At home for Houston, 2-5. At Washington, 2-6. This is not good. Hosting Arizona, 3-6. At the Rams, 3-7. At Tennessee, 4-7. Hosting Minnesota, 4-8. At Atlanta, 4-9. Hosting Indianapolis, 5-9. Hosting the Rams, 5-10. At Carolina, 6-10. And then I think the 49ers coast and let you get that last one to get to 7. Don't think the Niners play that Week 18 game and you guys get the win to get to 7. Not going to be a good season for the Seahawks, in my opinion. Not going to be a good season. Cooper Kupp is going to help a little bit, but you guys lost a lot of weapons on that offense. Like Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. You can't replace him with one old Cooper Kupp. It just doesn't work. But that is it for the NFC West. If you liked it, please leave me a like. Think about subscribing. And again, I will be back with the next one. And then we will be here live Thursday for the first regular season game between the Eagles and the Cowboys. Later.